Hey there, YouTubers and all those interested in all things related to V guitar. Today I'm going to take another look at the VG-99 and how you might want to use it to integrate with some of your plugins on your computer. Now, typically I suppose most people would do this by just opening up a DAW, but I sometimes like to get a tone going without the DAW, and one of the tools that I use to help me route the signals from the VG-99 is this software called Loopback. So we can see here this icon here that looks kind of like an infinity loop, and that's Loopback. Now, Loopback is a kind of progression from, I think it was called Soundflower or Soundflower. I'm not sure how you want to pronounce it. I actually have tried it, but I could never get it to work exactly properly with my system. So I ended up paying for Loopback, and it's a really good piece of software. Highly recommend it. It's a bit of a Swiss Army knife audio tool, kind of a virtual audio cable kind of system. You can plug audio from one software application into another for audio applications that have audio ins and outs. And it's got a few neat tricks it can do. So let's just have a quick look at how you might want to use it with the VG-99. Now, let's just have a look at my VG-99 patch here. The patch that I'm currently using is called D-Beam Acoustic, and it's based on my standard D-Beam whammy patch, which is basically some kind of model guitar on the A path and a dry guitar on the B path, like a DI guitar. So it might not seem entirely clear from looking at it here, but I think, where do we look? Details? We can see, not sure where to find it in here. Oh, yeah, you can see it on the bottom here. The cosmic guitar is at 0, and the normal pickup it is at 100. And if we look into the mixer, although the cosmic guitar needs to be active, it's just not actually passing any signal. In the mixer part of the chain, I've done some panning. So the way it works out is that the A signal is always panned hard left and the B signal is always panned hard right. Now in this case, the B signal is going to be feeding a standalone application called Archetype Plini by Neural DSP. Plini is a great guitar player from Australia. So we're going to use that for the guitar signal, and we're going to take the VG-99 itself and pass the left path, which is the acoustic guitar model, directly through to this virtual output channel here. So it requires a little bit of setup, and you might just want to do this in your DAW. It's completely okay if you want to do that. But sometimes I like to just get a tone going. And then if you're using this Loopback software, it becomes a virtual audio device in your audio MIDI setup. Over here it is, VG-99 Playground. And what that actually means is that, I'm not going to open live because live will probably get upset with the amount of CPU I'm using, but if we take a really simple kind of audio in-out device like this, I can actually take the audio from the playground and we can set the in and the out, built-in output, that'll do, or we could make it VG-99. Either way, doesn't really matter. That's just whatever's monitoring. Anyway, the point is this is basically like a really, really simple DAW. And I'm getting the signal from my guitar. You can see it coming in here along with the microphone. So anyway, I'm going to kill that because we don't really need it. I was just showing that as a proof of concept that the audio actually will pass through from the Loopback device into a DAW. Now, I'm also going to add some synth in here. So let's get some Omnisphere. Where are you, Omnisphere? Okay, let's have a look at, I'm just going to use the standard, we call it the default patch in Omnisphere, but it's important in Omnisphere to set the pitch bend guide to 12 plus minus 12 so that it interacts correctly with the VG-99's pitch data. Okay, let's also have a look at the settings in both of these. So first of all, let's look at the settings in the guitar side of things, or the amplifier side of things. I've set it to VG-99 in and VG-99 out, but the input channel is input 2, and again that corresponds to the B path. Okay, so the guitar's coming in from path B. It's always going to be 44.1 because the VG-99 is locked at 44.1. And audio buffer size, I'm just going to leave it at 128. I don't think it needs to be changed from that. Okay, so now, just not getting any, there we go. I had the volume turned down. So if I turn my guitar volume up, we can see that that's now coming into the Plini standalone. Okay, and on the synth side of things, let's have a look at the settings for him. Now I've set the output device again to the VG-99, but it doesn't really matter. It's just so that this software can actually get an output. And let's put the audio buffer size to 128, and that's also going to be locked at 44.1. And I'm simply telling it to take, I don't know why they're active, I'm just simply telling it to take MIDI from the VG-99's USB MIDI out, which is the control port. And now, when I play a note, to turn it on first. There we go. Okay, we've now got 3 paths coming into this virtual audio device. We've got the Plini, we've got Omnisphere's default default synth sound here, and we've got the VG-99 acoustic, which is coming from the A path here. So we've got kind of like 3 signals. So let's have a listen. They clearly need a little bit of balancing. The synth's really, really loud. Yeah, I think -8 for that's a bit nicer. And I think the acoustic to electric balance, it's kind of okay. I'm not wanting the acoustic to be overbearing. I just wanted to add a little bit of texture to the, I don't know, some sort of like little attacks to the tone that's coming. Let's say enhancing the electric tone. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. And I can now feed that signal through to my DAW and record it. So it may not seem like the most direct way of doing things, but I just kind of like doing it this way sometimes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to launch Ableton Live. What we're going to essentially try and do is recreate what we did with Loopback before, but in the DAW itself this time. I'm not foreseeing a major problem. So it seems like the audio devices are already set up. So yep, cool, all good. Okay, the overall latency is still a little high. When I'm using the VG-99 directly into its own dedicated USB port on the iMac, it displays a latency of around about 11 point, what is it? I can't remember. 11 point something seconds. But 13.4 is, I mean, considerably higher, I would say. Anyway, for now it'll do. Okay, so remember that channel 1 from the VG-99, the left channel, is the acoustic guitar signal. So that's going to be coming through here. I'm going to put some reverb on there and some delay. And the right-hand side, the B path, is the DI signal. So we're going to grab that and we're going to pop it into, what are we going to pop it into? Let's pop it into maybe a bassy or some searing leads. That ought to do the trick for the basic guitar sounds. And then in addition to that, once this loads, if it ever loads, come on, you can do it. Yep, there we go. Okay, that will work. And what are we going to do? I think there's a good Tozen preset, which is sick lead. Yeah, okay. We'll put that into oversampling mode. High oversampling mode, I should say. That should all be fine. Okay, now on the MIDI side of things, I guess we can use one channel to do this. I'll make an instrument rack down here. So MIDI's coming in, and we're just going to take an instrument rack, pop it down here. Okay, first things first, plugins. Let's take Spectrasonics Omnisphere, drop it down there. It'll take a little bit to load. When it does load, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in, I'm going to keep the default patch. I'll drop the volume down a little bit, but I'll do that through Ableton. All I'm going to basically do is come into this main patch area and adjust the pitch bend range. Again, okay. Let's get rid of that. We don't really need to see that. All good. I'm not going to adjust the volume from here. I'm going to adjust the volume within Ableton. So let's take it down, not that far. I don't know, -8 or something. About that. That'll do. All right, I'm going to create a new chain here. So these are parallel synth paths. And I'm going to take the Studiomux generator app, plugin, sorry. I'm going to drop it down there. And just to make our lives a little bit more visually simple. Yeah, okay. Now there's no device found, and that is because I haven't activated Studiomux here yet. So let's go and pop that on. And you can see it's already found it. iPhone 7 has now appeared. It's just going to load up and do its thing. And I'm going to say load last session, but I know that it won't actually do that because it never does. And I'll change the buffer size to 128 because it always defaults to 256. And I'm going to add in Animoog again. And we should now be cooking. Yeah, right. Okay. So it's loaded up on the Studiomux plugin UI. And there we go. So all that remains to be done now is to give it a sound test. Okay, it sounds pretty good, but it's a bit too hot on the synth. Sounds pretty good. And I can record it, and yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's different ways to do the same job. So we did it first just with the Loopback software, and the second time around we've done it with this guy. I don't get consistent performance of IDAM and Studiomux across different computers that I use. Particularly the laptop that I use does not like Studiomux for some reason. It didn't even like Studiomux before I went onto Catalina. It just doesn't really work properly. So let's just take a moment, and I'm going to first of all set up IDAM and sort of explain how to do that. And I'm going to try and get some Animoog into my signal here. So I'm just going to turn off Omnisphere for a second. I'll turn off the monitor and turn off the monitor for Plini and VG-99. We'll just keep the microphone going. Now my iPhone is plugged into my computer. And I'm going to activate screen recording. 2, 1, go. Okay. So first things first, when you want to activate an iOS device in Mac OS, you want to go into the audio MIDI setup, and you want to look down the bottom here of the list, and you can see that there is an iPhone 7 Plus. That's the one I'm going to enable. The iPhone 6 is actually just the camera for the VG-99. And when you enable that, it creates a device here, iPhone. It's 2 audio ins and 0 audio outs. So that means we can only use it for taking audio from the iPhone. So if we can send a MIDI signal to the iPhone, we can then take the audio back out from that into the computer. If you want to do audio processing with the iPhone, you have to look into using Studiomux, and that's we will have a look at that soon, but not right at this moment. Okay, so that's set up and good to go now. What it means is that when I'm in my VG-99 playground in Loopback, I can hit the Add a Device button, and the iPhone will now be available. There it is. Now, on the iPhone itself, I'm going to go and open a synth. I'm going to open Animoog, my old favorite. And we're basically, right, if I hit a key on the phone now, it's going to play back through the audio device and you'll hear it. I'm sure you just heard that. But we want the computer to take the MIDI from the VG-99 and send it through to the IDAM device, to the iPhone, to trigger that note. So, how do we do that? Now, if you're in a DAW, it's a fairly straightforward matter. You just look at the MIDI ports and say, all right, I want in from the VG-99, and I want to send it to iOS. Okay, so at this moment, I've activated the IDAM MIDI host, and it's basically good to go. But we haven't got anything connecting the VG-99's MIDI to the iOS device yet. So what I've been using is this little tool called MIDI Patch. I believe it's by an Australian developer, and it was like really cheap. I think it was like $2 or $3. It's a bit of a one-trick pony, but it does what it does very well, and it's very useful. So it's from the Mac OS shop, Mac OS store, Mac OS App Store. And I'm going to let it take MIDI from the VG-99 control. And I'm going to send MIDI to iPhone. Now when I play a note, nothing's happening. Oh, I didn't connect it. Let's hit connect. So when I play a note now, alright, it's triggering notes there now. So I'm going to reactivate the Plini plugin and the VG-99 left path, the acoustic path, and let's see what it sounds like in combination with the iOS synth, Animoog. Let's have a look in Monster Moog. Cluster fluxed. There we go. We also need to just check that our pitch bend range is correct. And my pitch bend range is at 12, which matches the VG-99, so we should be good to go. It tracks pretty well. It's just, I've read so many reports on various forums. I mean, I've even been guilty of it at times, thinking that the VG-99 doesn't track well. It tracks like a mofo. So don't let the old tech put you off. Like if you can pick up a VG-99 to use for a pitch to MIDI, you'll be happy if you get it set up right. Okay, maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's a tone that I could work with. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll look forward to presenting some more information on V-Guitar stuff sometime in the near future. Bye for now.